Good morning, everybody. Welcome to City Life. I'm Linda Bown. I'm going to be your host this morning. We have Senator Phil Shea coming in, and of course, Councilor Belanger will be in. It'll be interesting to see how the meeting went last night. Not bad out this morning, kind of actual balmy considering. So, nice fall day. Put a little jacket on the kids when they go out so they don't, but they'll definitely be taking it off, I guess. So, looking forward to a nice weekend. By the way, this weekend is the opening of the Tewksbury Legion on Saturday. So, I'll be on the membership table. Hope to see it for the auxiliary. Hope to see everybody there. We've got kind of a busy week, John. We have Karen Casella's party tonight. We have...
I think that's at 5, I think.
At 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I think you told me that.
That's it. I'll
I'm
just
sorry.
double check.
And it's Rita's, the Bridge Club tomorrow at
Yeah,
6.
Karen Casella's tonight to Long Meadow, 5 o'clock, and be there or be square. Just shake her hand, say hello, and
Congratulate her.
see what's going to
'cause
go on there. And then we got Rita's. The Bridge Club is having their fundraiser. You're right. Tomorrow, Thursday, October 10th, 6 o'clock. You're gonna gather at 6, dinner at 7, and if you need to get a ticket, call down to the Bridge Club or go on their website. You can buy it on their website too. Just go into Google and put Bridge Club Lowell, Mass, and their website comes up. And hope to see you there.
Yeah, should be a good, at Wednesdays, right?
Ned Timey's coming. I talked to Ned yesterday, and he's gonna. I'm gonna scoot up to his house in Manchester, bring him down.
Very nice,
Pretty
John.
good, pretty good. Ned's getting out of the house anyway, but that's good. I'm happy to be able to do that.
Oh, I look forward to seeing him. Hope he's doing really well. That was a dreadful thing. So, well, what's the last day to register to vote? Do you know? Isn't that terrible? I don't know.
Google-
If somebody out there knows,
Google knows everything, so
I,
let me go and ask. Oh boy.
in Massachusetts, of course, New Hampshire, I think it's same day or something crazy. But it's coming fast and furious. It's kind of an interesting how it's turning out. We don't have many fights in our area. We have Senate, Ed Kennedy and Carla Miller, State Senate.
The questions are going to be the big deal.
Oh, my God, you know,
And
it's
the red books in front of you there, if you want to look at those, I got to go pick up a code off my phone. I'll
it's
be right back.
going to take us forever to because they have the hallucinogens in there, they have masses of them. So I'm not going to read it in front of you, but anybody that, you all got this, I suggest you read it, just to grasp, because you certainly aren't going to be able to read it and they make them so confusing when they write them. It's often you vote no to be yes and yes to be no, so I don't know. I do hope I see everybody. The Legion's been a very long time coming for their opening. They're expecting a big crowd. They're roasting pigs and they're doing all kinds of things. So they've hired 7 bartenders. I don't know. That's
7 bartenders for where?
for the Legion. See, it was
Well,
hard.
see,
It was hard to
you're out of
replace me, John.
practice.
You know, it was hard to replace me. It took 7.
They're out of practice.
So it'll be interesting. I've been in the building. Be careful on that step going out. It's sort of a high step. So we don't want to have any injuries going
Well, I
up.
was over there one day. You wanted some. You didn't ask, but you suggested it would be nice to find out what's going on with the construction project over in that region of Tingsboro. So I took my drone over there, and I did a quick little walk through the construction. Looked good,
Oh, yeah, they've done it's an amazing.
but that's got to be 6 months ago. This has been coming at the speed of government, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Years. At least 2 years. So, yeah. Oh, more than that. So it's hard to believe that I'm going to say 3. Now that I think of it, but the bar is huge. I won't be bartending you need roller skates to bartend. It's a square.
A little bigger than it used to be?
Yeah,
Good.
it's a square, and as opposed to like most of the Legion bars they're against a wall. So this you can walk around pretty much, and it is quite large, and they're looking forward to, as I say, they're roasting pigs and they're doing roasting turkeys, and they're hiring George Polakis to cook. It's kind of it's going to be an interesting.
What kind of grub can we expect?
Roasted turkey, roasted pigs, 280-pound pigs, hamburgers, hot dogs.
They gotta find a better way to say pig. Roasted ham, maybe.
Except it's the whole animal.
Well, we don't say cow.
Well, if you were roasting the whole
can't-
cow, you would.
we
I
have
suppose
cow.
out west you'd say roasted cow. Maybe they roast the whole cow out west.
They need a pretty big spricket to do that, I think. I'd see that thing twirling around.
Well, 80 pounds I think is huge. I think he said 80 pounds. That's a big animal. So
So leaf peeping season in our region, and our friends in Florida, holy muckmire.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
scurrying for coverage down
Say a
there.
prayer. You know,
My wife's bestie, they were texting back and forth. They text back all the time, like they live next door to each other. And they're evacuating. They live in Fort Myers,
yeah.
and they're staying, they're going to Fort Lauderdale for overnight.
Yeah. A friend of mine texted anybody that has valuables that they're afraid of flooding, put them in your dishwasher because it's sealed. Never thought about it. Your papers, jewelry, things like that.
That's a good idea.
It's an excellent idea. I
But
never.
another good idea is to make a video. Narrated video. Hello! I'm Linda Bown, and this is my lovely abode. And I just want you to know that we have gold sinks, gold toilet, gold faucet. And you video all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so if your house does float away, you can review that video for your insurance claim.
Yeah.
Because you might forget, oh, I forgot about the gold toilet. Because there's so many things in your house. There's
Yeah.
a million things in your house
Right.
that are going to float away. And I was looking at some videos yesterday of Florida. Oh, my God. Awful. Awful what they're going through.
Oh, in the Carolinas,
Carolinas, floating houses down the river.
Oh my goodness gracious! But as usual, there are people that step up and are doing some amazing rescues down there.
Well, I do a thing on you. I got to fix that blurry thing. I do YouTube a lot, and if you take your, can you talk into your remote control?
No,
There's a little button you can speak into.
I know. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even talk into my phone to get or anything if I don't have to, just to talk to you or something.
We are a pack of weirdos. But there's a little button on your remote. It's got a microphone on it. And if you press that button, whatever you say comes across your TV screen.
Oh, I'll have to try that.
And so you go, and so what I do is I tell it YouTube, Live News Florida. And many of the Florida TV stations put their broadcast on YouTube. So we were watching, I was watching a lot of that yesterday. They're preparing for the storm. And I don't know why it's doing that, but
There you are.
it's okay. Yeah, that's better. And I can switch the other way too, do this guy. And I'm looking the other way. So I can leave it like this, and it looks like I'm looking at you, Linda, but I'm really not. This is technology. So much of the debris, tons and tons and tons of debris, they told the residents, just put it in front of your house, and the town will come and pick up whatever's left in front of your radiators, TVs, whatever it is, they're just going to grab it. So all these people have all this stuff on their front lawns, waiting to get picked up by the town, and now the town has got another emergency. They're not going to pick this stuff up. So the damage from the flying debris this
Wow.
storm is going to be unbelievable. And it didn't even dawn on me that the fact that they haven't picked up the litter, the crap, the broken things from the last storm,
Yeah.
going to just blow around and be very dangerous. So I'm glad that they're evacuating a lot of places down in Florida.
Yeah, it sounds like they're very serious and people are leaving. I know they always, I remember in Ocracoke, we had a house on an island out off Carolina, North Carolina, and they would always say evacuate. No, the residents never evacuated. They would bring their cars down to the highest point and park them there. Of course, everything's in pilings, but the houses in the center along it's only a mile, the center around, they had trap doors in their houses, and they just go on the second floor.
Trapdoor that went down cellar or went to the attic?
No, the trap door so the water could get out. They would just open the door,
So they would
open the door.
open the trapdoor and the water would just go in the hole.
Yeah. Go back to the sea.
Hey, if that worked for them.
Well, it did for it because these houses were hundreds of years old and they were still there. I don't know how but that down there when they have a storm, you need plows for the sand because it's only a mile wide.
They do that at Happy Hampton with the plows now too, just to get it back over off the road. And what most municipalities are trying to do is keep the sand and contaminants out of the water. So they'll say, "Oh, well, we want to get that sand off the road." No, it's just you don't want it in the pipes. That's the only reason they're really doing
Yeah.
it. And like when you look around different communities, you say these new driveways. The driveway ends before the road. There's a little lip.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the lip for? That's so the water won't go into the drain. The street drain won't go into the sewer. It
Wow.
stays on your property.
Whoa.
And if you look at these new sidewalks, a lot of these communities are putting in, there's grass on the curbside.
Yeah.
That's so the rain will go into the grass and not into the sewer.
That's good. Very
Yeah.
clever.
But I never realized that's why they were doing it. Oh, that'll look so nice with grass.
Well,
So the water won't go
yeah.
back into the sewer, which makes sense, but I just didn't realize till the construction air out front here told me.
Well, we were on the water, and we had a bulkhead that was a piece of material that went across the shore, and we planted a lot of seagrass to keep, because the water would come over the front yard, and it would have washed all the sand away. But it was they had wild ponies on the island. It was an interesting place. But they really did have to plow, because it was such a narrow island that you just couldn't get out. We were on an 8-foot. We usually got an 8-foot wash.
Was this in Florida?
No, this was on an island off of North Carolina, the Outer Banks.
Okay, yep.
And so we would get an 8-foot wash under the house.
One of my friends, her sister, lives in Florida, and the water was rising. So the sister goes to the second floor. The water keeps rising. The sister goes into the crawl space where it's an unfinished attic,
Yeah.
okay, where all the beams are. And she spent 2 days.
In the
And the
attic.
water wasn't flowing, it was just rising. So she didn't have to worry about, I'm going to
The
get
rush,
floated
yeah.
down the river here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bathtub. It just keeps going up. There's no flow to it. It just keeps coming
Yeah.
up. And then when she went up to the crawl space, she never realized that you can't get out.
Oh.
Because if you can imagine, you're in your attic, and all there is roof. There's no windows. All there is roof.
Oh, and a little vent.
Not even
She didn't even have a vent.
nothing you could crawl out of.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
So then, so the water went down, and her house was destroyed and ruined, totally destroyed because of mold or whatever. So she got a new house. So I says to her sister, and I've never met this woman. I says, so she built it. Oh, brand spanking new. It was beautiful. I says, did she put a a skylight in the attic. No, what would you want to do that for? Doesn't she remember getting stuck up there? No. She didn't put a skylight up there.
Wow. Scary stuff.
Yeah, and yet,
Yeah.
because if you could only using my imagination, okay, you say to your, you say to Vara, you say, look at Vara, say, let's go upstairs because it's going to get flooded here. Sure, okay. Wait a second now. If it gets worse, how you going to get out of here? But you're already there too long because if it's coming in your steps, it's already flooded your car.
Yeah.
So you're going nowhere, baby.
Yeah.
So I was happy to get a text from our friends that they're evacuating Fort Myers. So
Yeah.
heading for Fort Lauderdale for the day, and I hope that they get back to their beautiful house. And but again, if you have to abandon your house, make a video on your phone,
It's a good idea.
and so you don't forget. Oh, I had a refrigerator too. You have to put everything down that got ruined.
Yeah. Well, mine, like, I'd put everything in the dishwasher and it would float down to New Orleans or something.
It would be in Lawrence.
With all,
Go ahead, she-
with all
look-
my
look at
jewelry.
this nice jewelry I got from Linda.
Not even thinking of that, yeah. It's tough. I wouldn't, it's a scary thing. I sold the house and 2 years later it was on the Sound. So usually the storms didn't come up the Sound. They
Yep.
came up. And so they said, oh, it never comes up the Sound. And 2 years after I sold it, Isabel came up the Sound, took
Now they
every
say-
single house down, every single one of them.
It almost never comes up the Sound.
Yeah. So,
So your house got leveled?
yeah. After I sold it, fortunately. So,
Oh, another one of my friends, he just sold his house in Tampa. He lives in suburban Tampa. And his wife just got sick of it. She didn't want to go down this year. So he sold it 2 weeks ago. Right
Yeah.
after the first storm. He says, I don't think they're going to close it. I don't think they're going to, I think they're going to back out because of the storm. They bought it.
wow. Maybe they want a new house.
2 weeks ago,
Nice
nobody
lot.
knew
Nice lot.
this storm Milton was coming.
Wow. Mother Nature, we always think we're so clever. Can't stop it.
Well, down
But
Happy,
they keep building. The interesting thing is, of course, I would never ever build again down there. But they do. They keep building, and
if I won Powerball,
Yeah.
I would build a 4-story house on the ocean. And the first floor would have cement pilings to support the rest of the building. And if a wave comes in, it goes through the cellar of goes through the first floor of the place.
Yeah.
The garage gets all wet, tough cookie, and second, third, and fourth floor would be dry. But I'd have an elevator.
Well, yeah.
I gotta win the only trick. I gotta win Powerball. That's the only thing.
I know.
First.
This was this was on 24-foot pilings, and it was
24 feet out of the water,
yeah,
and it still went.
yeah.
Wow.
And I think it was equal. I don't know how deep they put them, but I assume it was equal to how high up they were.
Don't know. I know.
But just the thing is, I never thought about it getting into the bloody thing. Think about getting into it, no matter what. And then it was 3 stories, so I mean, it was a day trip getting up to the top of the cupola. So, you don't think of those things when you're younger.
Well,
I'd have been crawling up on my hands and knees at this point.
well, we have one flight. We have 14 steps up to our little condo at Happy Hampton, and it's way above what the ocean would be. And so we've been down there some pretty stormy days. And the only bad thing about this storm in Fort Myers is it's coming in after dark. You can't really, if you
Yeah.
enjoy a storm, you can't see it. You can
Yeah.
hear it, but tomorrow during the day, it'll be mid-Florida before sunlight comes up to see, and it'll be slowing down. But God bless them. Prayers for Florida.
Hearing storms, I think, are a little more scary at night. I mean, I'm on top of a hill, so I always hear a storm and the wind and things floating around and ending up in different places. But you don't know what you're going to find. I find that a little more unnerving. So not a happy camper, and the animals aren't happy about storms either, so. But I do say a prayer for all these people down there, and hope that they're all safe, and I'm glad they're evacuating. That's the smart thing to do.
It'll be all over tomorrow.
Yep. So, we have what, 29 days left or something to the election? Hard to believe.
Oh, I'll be glad when it's over. So sick of them, the two governors
Oh,
arguing with each other. Governor Gubernatorial, I'm not saying the word right, who cares? The two
Kelly.
gals running for governor in New Hampshire, how they're just dumping on each other.
I know.
And now the worst stuff comes out the last month. Not only did they kick their dog, they ate dog food. So that's what's going to be. All the bad stuff's going to be coming out over the
It's
over the next month. I know I'm getting. I still get personal letters. Yesterday I got a letter from J.D. Vance. John, how are you? It all started with Oprah. About 3 weeks ago, Oprah sent me a letter.
Oh,
Knows my first name. Fantastic.
it is amazing, isn't it?
Barack Obama. Michelle only wrote me once. I like Michelle too, but she only wrote me once. Barack writes me a lot. And I haven't heard from Kamala. But Joe Biden, he sent me a letter too. So
I get all kinds of, and I'm a registered Republican, I get all kinds of texts and emails from Kamala, which I find bizarre.
well, even I don't care what side it is, Linda. You can. I open the email and I'll tell you this nice little fairy tale about how good the candidate is, and they say, and we really need your help. Press here, and how much dough do you want to
Yeah,
give
that's
me?
right.
How much dough do you? I don't care whether it was from Oprah or it was from J.D. Vance. They were all there. You could really help me out a great deal. Press here. Give me some money.
Yeah, send all the money to North Carolina, why don't you?
I don't know what to say about those poor people.
It's just, I don't know how, it's going to take years to rebuild down there.
If you rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Linda. We're about the same age. I ain't in the mood to build a house.
Yeah.
And then, let's see if it went to both. Yep. So we'll see if it reconnects over there. But we're back up, Lynn. So yeah, that Starlight thing that they're talking about, that Musk made,
Yeah.
it's a portable connection to the internet. My understanding of it receives its.
I still have mountains.
Yeah, but you're back up on TV, which is good. I'm not sure if you're back up on TV.
Yeah, I just have the mountains. It's a very pretty mountain,
See
but
it moving, but
I don't know.
okay, that's you. All right. So I could fix your mountains. So your internet connection. Right now, most people's computers, it wirelessly connects like a radio.
Yeah.
Like you tune in WCAP, it works. It's coming over. It's a radio signal you're getting
Yeah.
to listen to Jerry Nutter. So okay, the internet. It's a radio signal your computer receives from your internet connection, and you are wirelessly connected to the internet all the time. When all the telephone poles are falling down, as soon as one telephone pole falls down on this street or on your street, there's no more internet. The only internet you have is you'll have the internet from your phone. Yeah, it looks like we're back up in there. So I'm leaning back looking at the TV in the other room because that's what's connecting us to YouTube and Facebook. But when you're connected, if you do lose internet on your street, your phone still has internet because your phone gets its internet from your house most of the time. But when your house is busted or not working, you just go off data And I don't have unlimited data. My sons have unlimited data, but I don't have unlimited data, unlimited. So I got to be a little stingy with it when I do have to do that. But you can, as long as you can get to a cell tower, you still have internet connectivity. Now down in Florida, those cell phone towers will work until the batteries on them die because they've lost their source of electricity. And so they'll continue to operate until the built-in batteries die. Once the built-in batteries die, they stop working. Now, this stuff that Musk has, they work off solar. And they go to a satellite. So they don't, it just sits there. It lights up from the whatever ambient light they have. And it has a signal that goes to a satellite. And so whoever connects to that thing that Musk has is on the internet just like that. And they tell me it's faster.
Is that going to be competitive with, now I have Verizon, so if I lose my power, I have a generator.
Yeah, if you lose your power and you can power up your
Yeah, I just plug it into a live, once I start my generator, I just plug it into a live outlet. And I have internet, I have TV and,
So look, you're gonna have to babble because Corey just pulled up.
oh,
So
oh, good.
You can babble for a little bit.
Oh,
I'll go
okay.
let
I think
Corey
I've been
in.
babbling for almost an hour now.
I know
so-
it's a bad way to put it, but you're a good babbler, just like me.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Corey. He's our newly appointed counselor. When John Leahy stepped down, he was the next one. He had run at large, and I know it was somewhat controversial, but he had run at large, and he's from Belvedere, and they appointed him. And so it's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say. And then, as I say, Senator Phil Shea will be here at 7, coming up from Salisbury, I believe, is where he's been lately, and watching any storms that are coming in there. So anyway, so I don't know. I hope any of you that aren't registered to vote, make sure you get out there and register so that I think every vote's going to count this year. It's going to be pretty important. I think there's only one contested race in this area, and it's Ed Kennedy and Kyla Miller, and that's in I know Tingsboro. That district changed. It's no longer Westford included. It now includes Drake. So the folks from Drake, you've got a new senator. It will be Ed Kennedy or Kyla Miller. So a new district. So welcome, Corey Belanger.
Want a coffee, grab one other than that, just sit down
Let's
there.
get right on there, my friend Linda.
How are you?
How are you? Good to see you.
Oh, it is so good to see you. It's been a long time.
It has been too long. Good to
Yeah,
see you.
yeah.
It feels so good to be back.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you, but I haven't seen you
All right.
in this capacity. Now, how was your meeting last night?
Oh, very good. Very good. A lot of chatter about right
You gotta
across.
drag the mic a little closer to
Right.
you, Corey. About
Very-
4 inches from your mouth. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, it went very well. A lot of chatter about the South Common here and the homeless issue, and that took up a lot of dialogue last night, rightfully so, because it's getting out of control.
Yeah. I don't know, well, you work in the business, don't you, on the, seeking out these people that deal with the EBT cards that they sell?
Not so much anymore, but we're
Oh.
still active on the opioid issue, Linda, right? And, which definitely is a direct correlation between
Oh, yeah.
homelessness and, I'm not saying, you got to be careful. The homeless advocates, not every homeless person is addicted to drugs. We understand that. But they're often intertwined, And so it's time across the street here. I'm sure our friend McD has seen his share of nonsense across the street here. And it's time we take action.
Well, even the
Take
sheriff's
swift action.
office moved. I mean, when the
Yeah.
sheriff's office moved, there's a clue. It's
Yep.
not safe.
Well, I hope,
No.
I don't have a lot of confidence in our manager, not asking for your opinion. I don't have a lot of confidence in our manager. And the city should, at the same time, they're making these people move into housing someplace. Knock off this street corner stuff. Tell the fireman, look, you can't have the boot drive no more. Sorry. No more boot drive. You need to get a permit to stand there with your boot or beg for money. You need to get a permit to do that. Oh, we can't do that. Well, make it happen. Pass it, get rid of all that stuff. And because now they tap on your window, but
I thought they did get a permit for things in the past, when I did fundraising. If you
Yeah,
had-
sometimes they do. The firemen will do a boot drive once or twice a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
that involves a permit.
And they should. I think they should have to have a
You know,
permit.
McD, what I mentioned last night is something that, a conversation has to get going, and I don't hear often enough, is that we need help from the courts, the court system.
Absolutely.
Basically, it's time that, they start involuntarily placing
you
these people.
tried to deal with the courts, Corey. Let me give you an example of court. Here's the court.
Well, if I can finish,
Please proceed. Tell us what you
No.
want us to know.
No,
So
right.
we can get back to goofing off. Please, come on, we're gonna go home. It's coming up on noon.
I understand,
courts.
we're all frustrated, but the courts need to step up and place these individuals, the chronically mentally ill, those who abuse substance,
They're not
We're-
gonna,
and to involuntarily, even though they don't want to go, that's too bad, into treatment, like for an extended period of time, not this 14-day, 30-day turnstile where they end up right back where they.
Well,
and-
that doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. But if we don't know that by now, I don't know what we need to do. But that's part of our problem.
I
And it's not
think,
fair to
part of our
them either.
problem.
It's not fair to the
It-
individuals.
I think,
No.
Corey, you guys should reach higher than that. You need to get Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey. It's a nationwide
It's
problem.
nationwide, yeah.
And
Yep.
we can't restrict it, because the courts are gonna say it's against federal law. No one's gonna, they're the law, they make the decision.
They can
on
make
law.
the decision locally.
So, Lori Tran, it's just HR to get a job for the federal government. Skip her. I mean, nice gal, not putting her down, but she really can't do nothing. Elizabeth Warren, she's got a big mouth down there. Ed Markey's got a lot of clout. Those two people have got to push this thing forward and take away their rights,
Yep.
forcibly
That's
house
what
these
needs, that's what needs to, that's what needs to happen. That's it.
But not only that, we need to have facilities to put them in.
We have
Yeah,
them.
there's
Well,
beds out
House
there,
of
Linda.
Correction has 2,000 empty cells. I'll
I know.
stop talking. Go ahead, Corey, sorry. I'll shut the
No,
mic off.
there's beds out there. I mean, I remember this, when Governor Baker got elected 2015 and 16, that was the problem with beds, but there are treatment facilities out there, and there are beds, Linda, available. But the problem is, like across the street here at South Common, we can show up with the co-op team, say, you gotta go, do you need treatment? We have services here, mental health clinicians, substance abuse clinicians, homeless advocates, what do you need? I don't want help, the problem is, we gotta wait till they're good and ready for help. Okay, even though they need it.
Yeah.
And that's hurting us bad.
Well, because in a lot of them, there's a fear factor of authority, so, yeah.
They don't want to lose their rights, but I think it's time it happens.
Well,
As a matter of fact,
this is
I'm
a
pretty
horrible way
convinced.
for them to live,
Yeah, absolutely.
and winter's coming.
I mean, I got a call last week from right across the street here, the STEM Academy, a teacher I've known for years. Can you come? No, kids can't go outside today. They're defecating on the side of the playground next to the fence. It's a de facto bathroom. I got on there after work. That's not enough. There's needles all over the place. So I got it cleaned up the next morning. City crews were right there. But nonetheless, these kids can't use the playground on some days because of this. The kids at Bishop Market and the housing project can't use the athletic fields because it's completely taken over. It's an encampment with sleeping bags all over the place, nips, kneels. It's not okay.
No.
It's not okay. And
No.
and this council as a whole, I think, is losing its patience.
Well, I think you all agree. I don't think there's a question of you all agreeing, but until they, again, the courts because the police arrest them.
Yeah, police can't do it, yep.
And then they're out.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
even murderers are out these days. What is going on with the
nobody's
court
accountable
system?
for anything, yeah.
No, I
Nobody's
mean, it's
accountable.
insane. We have people that come over the border, they're murderers where they came from, they murder people here, and they're out, or whatever they do, they're out to do it again. We need to get our country back and be safe to be. It's not fair that you should be able to walk down the street It's a little frightening.
No,
you know.
I agree.
So,
Nope, these people don't feel safe. All the residents of Bishop Market and Summer Street don't feel safe. We got a few emails and testimonies from them. We've had it. We've had it. You can't let this population, as much as, not to mention the money, I'm just getting to the council, but I've watched the commitments of this council and the administration with ARPA money. One-time deal. Once it's gone, it's gone. A couple $1 million, $2-3 million in the last, say, 18, 24, 36 months. And we're getting nowhere.
oh,
Okay,
and the
so-
feds give so much money to nonprofits, and there's just,
Yeah.
they don't have any success rate.
No, it comes down to these people, the services are there, we have the best services in the region. But it's until these people are good and ready to take advantage of them. So that's the problem.
Okay. They're
Frustrating.
And you can't do the things that you really want to do in the council, if this is what you have to focus on.
Yeah, this is a lot of time,
You know.
Those residents deserve it. But by no means was it a waste of time. We do it again, but we want some swift action taken. And we know the police are up against it, but we got to do all we can. It's still open air drug use is still against the law.
Yeah.
Last I checked, right?
Yeah?
That's what you do. I mean, if you can arrest them, let's just say, for an example, we make an arrest, open air drug use, he's injecting a needle right in open, gets arrested, but the courts need to do their share too. Put them away.
Well, if you don't have
Him or
any
her away for-
substance, I'm in conservation, and we can find people, but the law says we can't collect it.
Yeah.
That's how bizarre
Yeah.
the government is. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's insane.
No.
It's hard to do things.
Well, I was able to watch a little bit of city council last night, and one of the councilors brought up the fact that if these folks were living on Shed Park, it'd be a completely different crowd down there. If these people moved over to one of the parks in Pawtucketville, it'd be completely different.
I understand what you're saying.
And it's taken the city council too long. And I'm glad that they might be doing something about it, because right now, nothing's gonna happen. You guys, the manager, and again, I don't have a lot of confidence in this guy. The manager's gonna have, put his team together. He's gonna try, the other three musketeers. It's
Well,
just
he's
so-
up
it's just so
against-
he can do this later.
He's
Oh,
up
they
against it
screwed
too,
up.
McD.
They
We're all up against it, including the manager.
Look, he's gonna take
He's going to do what we ask him.
something next week he's gonna come up with some rule, and you guys will go like, that's
Oh,
great,
no.
Tommy. I just hope that it works. I don't have a lot of confidence in this guy.
Well,
Sorry.
there's only so much he can do as well.
Well, this has been
We
around
put
since
money, we put
I've
millions of
done it.
dollars into the situation to offer services, and then, no, they don't want them, and again.
When Eileen Dunham was around, there were 27 people living on the common. Tommy Golden gets here, there's 200.
Okay, what do you attribute that to?
Well, we also have immigrants, so we have all kinds of
Nothing
people.
happened.
Well, but
No. I
okay,
think it was more than 27, but.
You're in charge.
Okay,
John.
make it 40 then.
Maybe not to where it is now.
Make it
but
40.
Maybe COVID has something to do with it, I don't know.
what would you do, John?
but-
What would you do?
If I were king, and I'm not, I would forcibly house these people.
You're-
Bring a bus over.
you're-
Call
so you
over
and I are on the
LTA,
same page.
Get a bus, get on that bus, or get in a paddy wagon.
Okay,
Oh, don't say paddy, well, we don't have to worry about it. LTC's not on until 7, so we can say whatever we want right now, because the word police are not here. But I would have the paddy wagon and a city bus there. And say, which bus, that bus is going out to Baraca House of Correction, where you're gonna be living inside. We're gonna have some professionals take a look at you and put you in a good direction. And if everything works out, you'll be a free person in 90 days. And if you don't like that, you're gonna go in the paddy wagon, and we'll put you through the court system. And those are the two alternatives I would give them.
but
So you and I are on the same page, basically. It's time to stop fooling around
Right.
and
But the court
place these
system-
people into treatment.
won't do anything.
I know, that's where we need help.
And and
That's what
you
we
know,
asked.
John, if you did that, they'd be all over you.
The court's opinion.
No, I think public sentiment, I was thinking last night, I made a similar motion in 2014, 2015, and boy, did I get beat up, about how heartless I was, and, because I seen this problem. I been dealing with opioid addiction for 15 years. And I see that, I always said to myself, these people, they're not going to voluntarily check themselves in. They're not. You have to force them in. It's that simple. And, you know, when I said something along that, you know, 10 years ago, I got killed. But today, fast forward 10 years later, 2024, the public sentiment has changed. It really has. People have had it. They understand. They're more of an understanding about how much their tax dollars have gone into this. The problem's getting worse. And I think they really have, the pendulum has swung.
And we have a governor that's not going to do anything. See, we all know what you need to do.
Yeah, yep.
You're right. You're absolutely right. John's right. But you don't have any teeth in it. The court system's not going to process them. God bless the police. They pick the same people up day in and day out. The firemen are rescuing people
Absolutely.
3 times a day, and they have no recourse. And it's got to be frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody, but the governor will just merrily go on her way and not do anything.
Well, the manager is having conversations with the lieutenant governor on this as well, saying we need help. So, but look as I said last night, it's, we had a local business to keep their, complaining that, he's doing so well. It's a staple, a nice farm to table restaurant is the theme. They do very well. And the owner here, he's had it. He's with this situation. The situation tonight, his customers, he'll get a 5-star review. The food is absolutely delicious, but don't go there at night. It's too dangerous. So he's considering not renewing his lease a year from now. So we have families impacted. We've had schools impacted, and we have restaurants impacted. Just this one location. So
they're going to elect Elizabeth Warren again, and everything that isn't going to do anything. I'm so frustrated. I don't even know what to say anymore because it's a broken record.
It's only natural where a local business, whether it's the Owl Diner, which came down a few months ago, the Keep on Lower Gorham Street, all these businesses and residents to come to your local, elected officials and complain, right? So it's only natural, and we want to hear it. But we are powerless. It's that the argument needs to be taken to the State House, to the delegation, to the courts, to the judicial system, and say you need to do your job with these people. Local level, we're dumping millions. We've had it. We're not going to have, when this APA money's gone, we don't have, so where are we going to be then? So, the court system really needs to start holding these people, putting them into treatment long term.
The system is broken.
Absolutely.
And I feel bad for anybody in office now because, on a lower level, because the upper levels are not, they're removed from it so they don't have to deal with it every day.
Well, certain neighbors are affected more than others, Linda, to your point, absolutely.
No, but the congressmen, the senators, they're
immune to
beautiful
this,
houses, and they don't have to deal with this.
Nope.
They're not in a level that every single
That's right.
meeting they come up and your heart goes out to these businesses and to these residents that I don't go into downtown Lowell now at night.
It
it's
breaks
not
my heart when I campaign and talk to constituents. I don't go down there. That's why I'm trying to work on some light. Rita Mercia, you're a good friend, my good friend. We trying to get a lighting initiative, solar powered, motion activated to light up the downtown a little bit, which would help. The downtown has been almost completely destroyed because of this issue. The social services outweigh the for-profit businesses. It's heartbreaking. It really is. So, but I promise you, Linda, we're going to do everything we can. This council's had it, and I'm getting on board, and I'm right in lockstep with them.
That's good. I wish you luck, and I.
And and I understand that I'm open to criticism with these comments. It's a hard stance, but I know more than most. I've been working on this issue for quite some time. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I know a lot in this issue, and I know it needs to be done here.
Yeah.
And that is, again, not to be too repetitive, but
And it's heartbreaking to see these people.
Absolutely. They can't help themselves.
No.
They're far too deep in addiction and mental health to do anything for themselves. And I don't know how it's compassionate to leave them on the street.
They wouldn't do that to a
I
dog.
don't understand that, yeah, I don't understand. It blows my mind, but
Well,
I got a good group of colleagues we're working with, and we're all in lockstep.
yeah, I think you do have a good group there. Now, on as far as other things going on in the council, I've been in various parts of the city where the roads are being done. I see that.
A lot of paving, yeah.
Right down to the dirt.
A lot of
So-
paving going on. Well, the manager said last week at a breakfast, about $30 million in the last 2-3 years in paving roads, so, but still, long way to go, but this is a top priority of ours.
Does Lowell have anything coming up in the fall, or Oktoberfest, or anything that they'll be, because they've
We
done
got a
that in the past.
Halloween
at the-
Saturday, Monster Bash downtown, the Saturday before Halloween, I think it's
Okay.
But, that's a good question, Linda, because I was always a huge advocate for special events, like,
Well,
Lowell
yeah.
Folk Festival, Winterfest, this brings people downtown to
Close the Middle Street.
absolutely, I'm all for it. I love special events, and not only that, spreading out to the parks and the neighborhoods, close streets and have a little
Yeah.
block party. I'm not saying it's gonna be huge tents and stuff, but, I think it's good for the community, I really do.
Well, it amazes me, because I was there at the gallery during the folk festival, and there wasn't a problem with these people, the vagrants asking for money and that type of thing. So,
Well, this is what happened when you got shoppers and festival goers out that outweigh the homeless.
Yeah.
That's but a typical day downtown, that's not what you see.
I know,
And
I know.
it's heartbreaking.
So, I kind of think it
But
could-
the manager's always also working on relocating the shelter, but again, it's been tried before. We'll see how he works, we'll see how he makes
They're
out.
dying to get the shelter out to Chelmsford, really. They're dying to get,
Good one. Good one.
so Corey.
You're making a joke, right?
Well, that's just it. We're tired of the outlining, and Linda, I don't mean, the outlining community is doing nothing on this, absolutely nothing. If they had so much as 10 beds for the homeless, for each community, we'd be in a better position. But
The
zero
surrounding-
doesn't help us.
I enjoy a lot of time out in Tewksbury, and the surrounding communities feel it. Look at, Lowell gets tons and tons of tax money, a lot more than any town could ever dream of. And for the lack of a better way to put it, they power piss the money away on stupid stuff. And that's what Lowell does with it.
Like what, education?
Every red cent of our taxes, our real estate taxes, couldn't pay our bills. If we didn't have federal funds, state funds, we wouldn't be able to hire our friends anymore. And so that's the towns look at Lowell as, you guys have all that money and you have all those problems, you're not sending any problems out here. That's how the towns view, that's my perspective, how
Okay,
towns
all
view
right.
Lowell.
That's a good point. The cities, the outlining towns got ARPA money too, just like, not as much, but they got ARPA money too.
And they
We
bought,
don't
they
have-
bought windows for their schools.
Well, we get a lot of money, but a lot of that education, you can only spend it on education, Chapter
Corey,
90 money.
you're only one guy, you're a good city councilor, but administration has run amok in this city where the second and third floors of these buildings filled with administrators, the school department is almost as bad. They're loaded with administrators, and that's where all the money goes. $100,000 administrators.
In the
We
school
have way too many
department?
of them.
I
And
mean,
I hate to say it, but it's going to nonprofits, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have nonprofits. What I think you should have is accountability of the nonprofits.
Linda, there's no.
Show me
way-
what you've done before we give you more, and just don't wring your hands and say, oh, this is a terrible problem. Show me some results. Now, the Bridge Club that we'll all be going to tomorrow.
Yep.
You can't say enough about that, and if we had more facilities and organizations that did deliver and produce.
Yes.
They actually service people, they get people, they help them, they get them detoxed, they get them out of the situation. It isn't a 3-week
no.
detox. They actually work with the people, and they make a difference in lives.
Yeah.
These other nonprofits aren't made to show results.
That's right. results.
And they get millions and millions of dollars.
I said months ago, the manager's got to sit down with these not-for-profits
Yep.
and tell them, Bill Belichick called me, do your job. What is your job? What is the end game here?
Yeah.
I sat on the shelter board for a few years, and it's all about perpetuating their careers. When it comes to administration, the board and the shelter did what they could to encourage, but this outfit from Worcester, it's all about perpetuating their
Yeah,
job.
smock, right, yeah.
And that's just my take. And the only one who can change my mind is Smock.
And to see a change in the shelter. But
Well,
it is
I-
the people that are working there day in and day out, and they're making a pittance. You're right, the administrators are getting, 6 digits as far as an income, and these poor people down here, maybe that are working at the shelter, if they're even getting 2 weeks vacation.
And the people living on the common are their excuse to be there.
Not
Look
for
how
much
good we're
longer.
doing. We went from 40 people to 200. Look how good we're doing.
Well,
That's not a good number in my mind.
And the police departments for surrounding communities dropping off the homeless here
Yep.
continues through today. Now they send out mock cruisers.
oh,
Yep. We've heard the testimonies, McD.
They
We
drop
know
off
all
on South
about
Street
it.
and say,
Yeah.
walk down there, they'll help you.
yeah.
Walk down there.
Well, we
they'll-
all need to be like Tewksbury.
You know, McD, you do know there are some outstanding services in the city that we offer. You know that, right? A street team, many clinicians.
Oh, I know,
Lori,
I
the
know.
only.
But again,
the
still
problem is
they're good and ready, as I
They go
stated.
home at 4 o'clock. They're closed on a weekend. Now, this is coming up on the weekend. CTI, God bless them, one of the best organizations I ever served with. They're going home Friday, and we'll see you Tuesday. Same thing with the administration of the city. Noontime Friday. I'm going to take my drone someday and fly it over City Hall at 11:59. It looks like the building's on fire. If you go down there at noontime on Friday, I mean, it's like everybody gets out, it's like, we're
Well,
out of here.
That is quitting time, I get it.
Well, Vi had to put a painting in, and he got there at 12:15 on Friday.
No. We're the
Didn't
city.
end well for him that day.
No, it didn't. We'd be closed. We'll see you Tuesday. That's this weekend. We'll see you Tuesday. And so the not-for-profits, where do you see the services?
It's a
that
long
happen?
weekend?
Huh? Columbus
Mon-
Day.
They still have Columbus Day off?
Of course, we're the government.
Yep.
The school doesn't.
Yes, sir.
Do they? Oh, we do. Didn't we change the name or something? Because he was
look at-
Italian or something?
Indigenous Persons Day.
The best
yeah.
thing I heard about this was the Italians
we
are
did,
pretty
Linda.
ticked off about that indigenous. So the best thing I think of, and I've heard this, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, they're going to make the day after Halloween a holiday and call it Halloween holiday.
That's new to me, McD.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what
We'll
you're
see-
hearing,
We'll
huh?
see where that idea goes.
Boy, a lot of rumors going on here at City Light, I'll tell you.
Well,
That's what we do.
as best we can.
So,
I know it. huh?
Corey, rolling it back though, so you directed the manager to create some guidelines. I don't know what is he going to create? He's going to
An ordinance to clean that park up.
And it's
Okay.
going to it's going to be on your desk this Friday.
Yes, that's from the previous motion last Tuesday. Yeah, there'll be something on,
My
in the
guess
packet.
is, because it's, you guys didn't cancel next week's meeting?
Heck, no.
We
Why would
usually
we?
do.
Why would we?
Because it's a holiday Monday. We usually,
No, well,
So-
I think April vacation, yes, I think we do.
it'll be interesting to see if he really, if he doesn't say, it's almost done.
I'm curious myself. I'm going to be very interested in it and to what initiatives we can take.
Well,
and
so
what-
hypothetically,
what
next week-
proactive measures.
Next week, we'll have something, it'll probably be on the website, city's website Friday night as for what the new idea is going to be. And Tuesday, you guys will likely button it up and pass it, or you might pass it back to him for another week. So hypothetically, that happens. So 2 weeks from now, you pass the thing. And I think that Eric, was it November 29th he changed to? It's got to,
November 14th, October 29th to November 14th, I believe.
so November 14th
Yeah, I supported it.
is that's evacuation day for the common.
Oh, Okay.
I like that.
So that's what that was my takeaway
And
from
where
the
are they
meeting.
going to bring them to?
Would you agree, Corey, that's probably the track we're going to go?
I think so, yeah. We're going to see the information we get in Friday's packet, and we'll
Well-
discuss it on Tuesday, yeah.
That's encouraging, John.
But we're motivated, McD. We're trying.
is.
We're trying.
I'll be
Sure
here
is.
that next
Good.
Wednesday, and the poor soul that's in with me. You don't want to come in there next Wednesday.
Senator Shea is on the property.
Ah,
I'd like to let him in, but he said he's texting people.
By all means, let him in.
Yeah.
A good
So-
friend.
He's,
yes, I know.
Still sitting in his car, so when he comes in, he comes in. But a little point on city life, we're not doing text messages because I use my phone to put the city life on Facebook. And
Yep.
that's going to be a temporary thing, but next week, hopefully we'll have text back. So if the only way you can send communication here is, you can't call the show today, not taking any calls because of the phone
But
in
if-
the other room. And page 2 is, if you go to Facebook and you find my Facebook, you can send me a message on Facebook. That's the only place.
You can message it that way? Okay,
That's
please.
the only way today.
Okay, I have someone that said they were going on, so I'll see.
They can text Linda.
They can
Linda
text
will
me if you know my,
Or text Linda Bown, yes.
Well, I'll text Corey. Corey,
Yeah.
Corey, yeah, Corey.
By all
Williams,
means,
text him.
I want to hear
yeah,
it.
so we'll answer you.
I'm a district councilor, but I have citywide aspirations
glad
as
to
well.
see you back.
And, yeah,
I'm glad
it
to see
feels
you
good.
back. Yeah.
Feels good. And,
So-
Linda, you can say good morning to Lowell now. Lowell's on.
Oh, good morning,
Lowell
Lowell.
on Chelmsford.
I'm Linda Bown, I'm your host. I have Councilor Corey Belanger, and Senator Phil Shea will be in a moment. He's on the property, so to speak.
I
So,
think I'll go and encourage him.
okay, yeah, tell him. Do his text messaging
Give him the red carpet
on
treatment.
someone
McD.
else's time. That's right. So you're enjoying being on the council?
Linda's going great. Yeah, I'm a district councilor, and it's busy. It really
Yeah?
is. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of call from constituents. I'm out canvassing. When I get an issue emailed to me, I'll go out and talk to the constituent myself
Oh,
about
very
whether it's about
good.
trees or speeding or potholes, whatever it may be. So I'll make a visit and then canvass the rest of the street.
How's the
and
25-mile-an-hour sign, is it working?
Not good. You want the truth.
Well, it
that's
affects
what
me.
I-
I think it catches my eye, and I check,
Well, thank you for
I-
obeying the law,
hey.
Linda, but no, I'm still getting a lot of complaints on speeding in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But these speed humps that we're doing are very effective. We had a couple over the summer in a trial basis, and it went very well. They can collect data we take data before we install them and then after, and it's really, it has great results in traffic calming, as we say now,
Okay.
slowing down these streets that are cut-throughs in our neighborhoods, so yeah, that's what I'm working on in my district. But it's going really well. And working on some flooding issues there on Douglas Road. We got some relief coming for those folks.
Oh, okay.
On Wynwood and Douglas Road, we got some serious flooding issues last year with all the rain. And, we're just following through.
Now we have no rain.
I know, now, this summer was very dry, right?
Here he is, the man of the hour. Well, come right on over here, Senator. You don't get to have coffee or anything, you just,
So what's the council meeting last night?
he'll get you water probably.
For the morning, and
Yeah.
Corey's here again.
Absolutely he is.
Morning.
Good morning, Senator. Great to see you, my friend.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
You know, Linda Bown needs no introduction.
No, I mean, I watched that meeting last night.
Yeah.
And what did you think, oh, we gotta put would you put his mic on and push it close? Because he speaks very softly. I don't know
Right.
whether he doesn't want us to hear what he's saying.
I don't worry too much about about that, because not many people care what I say.
They're all listening at home, Phil, I can tell you.
But the council meeting last night, I turned it on and I watched it, and it was pretty interesting and a little different than what I can experience, but
Yep.
we'll let it go like that.
Yeah, the South Common issue, a lot of dialogue there.
Well,
yeah.
that South Common issue is
Yeah.
it's best to not comment on that.
Yeah, I think I know where you stand, Phil, but I get it. But
No, it's just.
it's heartbreaking to see a beautiful amphitheater park with with athletics. It's completely taken over.
I
and
couldn't
gotta stop.
agree with your comments last night. Councilor Belanger, I couldn't really agree with you more with respect to the situation and what you're trying to accomplish. I commend you for your effort. However, I think we all recognize it's a delicate situation, and there's probably no happy conclusion. Sometimes you have to do things which are in the best interest of the community, and that may not fit well with everybody.
No, I understand
But
that.
I do think when the revelation came out, which I was like, let me hear that again. I didn't realize that they were all the way up here to Highland Street, bothering our children across the street.
Yes, very much, yeah.
And your description of what it was like was pretty clear and sad.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't know what the city manager does. I don't know what the city council does, but there's no happy solution. Either you want to fix the problem, you can't say you want to fix the problem and talk about that for a bunch of minutes and then say, well, but I want to have a solution to fix the problem. Well, the solution to fix the problem may take anywhere from 2 months to 12 years. So either you want to fix the problem or you don't. And when you want to fix a problem that's so delicate, and nobody advocates, I think, more for people that need help than Councilor Belanger. And he's expressed that for the last 10 years that he's been in public government. But all members of the city council, I think, feel the same way. Maybe not all members, but for the most part. In the city manager's explanation, which was lengthy, and you could see the guy was aching. He was hurting, even to talk about it. I mean, and you can see the frustration on his face with respect to the situation.
Okay.
I want to ask Corey a question here.
Yes,
This-
sir. No, I
this
don't
thing-
even know, that's
No,
how
thank
I
you.
think. I'm not saying that I'm
There
right.
they are.
No,
But that's how I think.
This ordinance that
Yes.
the city's putting together, will I be able to camp on the sidewalk?
Say that again, John?
Not sidewalk? No, that's not
Like you're
what-
looking on the screen,
That's
right?
not, that's
These
not the
people-
goal.
We have people sleeping here on the common.
Yeah.
No, it's
This is just either trash or some gear that belongs to
That's what needs to be
somebody.
cleaned up by city crews.
They come
to
every
roll it out.
Friday. They come twice a week. It's just, the city
Yeah.
employees are doing a great job. The cops walk through the common, and it's great, but just this, so we won't be able to live on the sidewalk either?
No, that's not the goal, to put them on the sidewalk, no.
Good, okay, good.
Well,
Thank you.
I mean, someone brought out the fact last night that when you're moving from here, they're gonna go somewhere
Yeah.
else. Well, that's true. But then on the other hand, I'm not too sure that some of the towns that are contiguous to Lowell should put their
Best foot forward,
no,
perhaps?
well, they're putting them on a bus and bringing them up to
Yeah.
Lowell and dropping them off. Now, why is that right?
Yeah.
Why is
They don't want to be in the town, so there are no services, there are no, they don't have the accommodations, they don't have the liquor stores, they don't have,
Their friends aren't there.
that's right.
Well,
don't wanna be out.
accommodations are, they're overextended.
Oh, I agree with you. Okay, you were a counselor and then you were rep and then you were senator.
Right.
And we were talking earlier, and the issue is that they get the brunt of it, you know it, on the city
Oh,
council. You get every day, somebody's calling you every day.
Yes.
Now, you're not getting called every day from the state if you're working in the state, and certainly nobody's calling Warren. So how do we get the people that can really make a difference to make a difference?
Well, if you go to the state, the state has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a variety of issues that are all intertwined with one another.
Throwing money at the problem.
Hiring our friends.
Now, Phil, what Linda's sort of alluding to, what we discussed earlier, and I mentioned briefly last night, is that, we need help from those out of the out of the scope of our authority, such as the court system, that, when these individuals are arrested for open-air drug use,
Right.
nuisance crimes related to mental health, or, should be involuntarily, now is the time we start involuntarily putting these people into treatment. I know the advocates always say incarceration, that's not the word we use, I don't know where it comes from, but
Right, you said that
it's
last night.
time that the courts, even the chronically mentally ill, we need to start talking about institutionalizing.
There's no place.
I understand that, we're gonna have to
gotta
reopen
recreate
facilities,
them.
yeah, kinda, you're right.
But that,
it
you
needs to
can't do
happen.
that, unfortunately, you can't do that in the sitting level.
No, we can't do that at the city level, thank you, Lynn. That's what I'm alluding to, that some of the, there are people above us that we need their help too. And that's the judicial system, and on the state level, that conversation needs to start, because we're getting the brunt of the complaint, and that's fine, but we can only do so much.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do everything we can, believe me. But Phil, in my opinion, that's where we need help from, and I'll say it loud and clear.
You expressed that pretty clearly
needs to
last
happen,
night.
you know.
And
I've
I thought you were right on, and
I've been doing it long enough now where I know what needs to be done, and I'm gonna say what needs to be done. And I don't know how it's as I said this morning to Linda, I don't know how it's considered compassionate by letting these individuals freelance out in the street, with open-air drug use, committing nuisance crimes, to feed their addiction, and who need help mentally. I don't know how that's compassionate, I just don't get it, but it needs to change.
Now, other than Vesna Noon and Wayne Janess, that wanted to just, let's give them some more time.
Yeah.
I didn't get home until well into the city council meeting, so I didn't enjoy any of the speakers speaking. Were there a lot of attendees that say, let's give them more time?
No, heck no. There's only 3 speakers, 2.
Oh, okay, I thought there were.
Only one advocate was saying we need more services, and it's the same individual that comes in, and good for him. This population needs advocates. We don't fault them. We applaud them for coming down and standing up for these individuals who need help. That's no problem. But the other 2 speakers were like, you need to do something. From other parts of the city too. They see it. They're just, as I said earlier, the sentiment over the last 10 years, when I used to bring up these issues 10 years ago, Phil, I used to get killed, I was heartless, you name it. But now the pendulum has swung, where people have had it, and they see their tax dollars go into this. We're not getting anywhere, but this is what I'm saying needs to be done.
Well, I think the Owl Diner put a good shine on this, because you got the big shots saying, well, I'll meet you over at the Owl for breakfast. You go over there, wow, this is a real problem.
Yeah.
So God bless the Owl Diner.
No, absolutely.
Having the big shots go over there, and always having a good time at the Owl Diner. Always a good meal, but I think that's would help put the spotlight on it.
And I mentioned the Keep, formerly Ricardo's on
Yep.
Lower Gorham Street. He's doing tremendously well, a great reputation. And, his lease expires in a year. He's like, I don't think I'm going to do it, because not that business is bad.
yeah,
He did an excellent job.
he was pretty
He did an excellent job.
torn on the issue. But
Yep.
like he said, his lease is up in a year. and-
Well, you don't want your customers harassed.
No,
And as soon as we got cameras all over the place, so as soon as somebody settles anywhere near the property, we call the cops. The cops come and
Yep.
encourage the person to move along successfully. We've yet to have a problem. One of the big problems is they're walking around the neighborhood looking for an electrical outfit to charge their phone. And that's, what are they doing? Because they're on the property, and I said, what are you doing here? So I'm just charging my phone. And here he's got his phone plugged into my building.
Wow.
So the electrician shut off all the external
gotcha.
outlets.
Wow.
So a
I
lot of
never
them-
even would have thought of that.
that's why they're on your property. That's why they're walking around the Rogers School looking for a
Oh, how
plug that
creepy
works.
having them on my, ooh.
Well, didn't someone from the Owl Diner a month or 2 ago?
Phil, would
Yes.
you mind dragging that
The-
microphone?
The owner, yep,
It-
on this.
Ask Phil to drag the microphone closer to him. It's got to be 4 inches from his mouth, not 10 inches. It's not.
He speaks softly.
I don't care.
He didn't always
I'm
speak
sorry,
softly.
what I said, it seemed to me, though, not long ago, someone from the Alva Diner spoke before the council and
That's
talked
correct.
about the difficulties they were having
Yep.
running their business. And anything changed since then?
Well, yes, another business last night spoke that they haven't had problems and that's more night-oriented business, obviously, it's dining.
No, it's such a big problem.
Which
Yep.
business was that, Corey? Do you
The
remember?
Keep.
Okay, the Keep.
On top of,
Such a
Across
big-
from Towers News, yep.
yep, across from Towers News.
Right.
And, yeah, so it's a huge problem down there. With, you know, you got all the services down there, the shelter,
Yes.
you know, makes you vacate at 8 o'clock in the morning. Where do you think they go? Downtown and the surroundings, surrounding neighborhoods. You know, so the manager's working on relocating, that's been tried before, Phil, and we'll see how he makes out, and what neighborhoods are gonna want it, what town is gonna want it, you know.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a huge challenge.
And they don't
no doubt.
want it, because again, as John said, they're friends, and they have no facilities.
and they're not going to use their resources. If they get reimbursed, it may be one thing.
Right.
They're not going to use
No.
their own resources
Correct.
and tax their own people
Yep.
because they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's high time the government, at least the local government's getting a handle on this, because our federal taxes support these folks. They all have an ABT card, okay, we're in Lowell now. Almost everyone has an ABT card. Almost every one of them has a mass health card, and almost every one of them has a free phone. And we're paying for that. When it free happens, that means the government's paying for it. Where does the government get their money? Us. And so what we've been doing for the last 20 years has not helped. And so I'm glad for this turn, but I still think you're not going to be able to put them in jail until you get Ed Markey in the game here.
Treatment,
along
not
with
jail.
Elizabeth, okay, I don't care what you want to call it. You can't make me go take treatment.
Well, right now, we can't, yep.
The court's not going to let you do that. You need to get Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren in the picture and create a law to take away their rights for 90 days at a time.
At least.
They want a
That's what they say.
sanctuary state.
We'll see
What do
how
you do with that?
We'll see what happens in November.
Yeah.
Remember in November.
Yeah,
I'll stop talking. Thanks.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting election.
Is John, what's going to happen in November? Why don't you tell us?
I don't know what's going to happen in
Well,
November.
you didn't.
It is
Sounded
neck-
to me
I
like
know what I'm going to do. What are you going to do, Phil?
It's neck and neck.
you were saying twice, we'll see what happens in November, and you had a big smile on your face. But you
Yeah,
won't tell
November,
us.
that's where the rubber hits the road. You don't think the state reps are all nervous?
Who?
The state reps, it could be a write-in. Maybe you write in somebody's name and I'll lose. A year from now, it'll be the city councilors. They'll just be extra nervous. They're going to lose their seat. I don't blame them. It's just the way, that's how politics works around here. So Phil, what are your thoughts on November? What's going to happen next month?
I don't have any thoughts on it.
It's 50-50, no idea.
I'm at the point now, I don't bring it up anymore because it hurts half my friends' feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that, yeah, Linda? John won't bring it up anymore, but he's asking me to bring it up.
Go on, Phil.
Well, you,
To hurt your friends' feelings.
No, and that's what I said, I don't have any comments on it. You know,
No.
I agree with everybody, we'll see what happens on the 7th, on the 6th, and, but, no, I mean, no, other than
Yep.
that.
Well, I think what Corey said earlier, people have had it. And they're not seeing any solutions so far, and so, and it's, it always, what happens is when it affects everybody's pocketbook. And as I said last week, when it costs $28 a pound for a steak, that nobody, and $7 a pound for butter, who would have ever thought? That's insane.
Yesterday, I'm watching, on Facebook, Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, the TV guy. He's roaming around the Carolinas, going to these people that are torn from the last hurricane that went through there. And he's going to the communities that no one's ever been there. Dr. Phil's the first guy in the state. FEMA hasn't been there.
No.
And Everybody's
they're
going,
busy.
everybody's telling everybody, oh, we're doing a famous, doing a fabulous, they're not out of money, they're doing a great job. And Dr. Phil's exposing these, so I shared it on Facebook, and one of my Democratic friends said, he's just looking for publicity. It's just, the government is failing on their duties on the federal level, the state. Just name one organization for the state that pushes excellence out the door every day.
Well, when FEMA considers the
In the city, you got employees that really want to do a great job, and they got an administrator that picks their teeth all day. So it's a virus that happens over the whole community.
You're not talking about Lowell, are you?
Yes, I am.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
well, FEMA has definitely fallen short. And
Nobody gets fired.
no,
Yeah, that's one thing with this administration I've noticed. No matter what you do, no one's accountable for anything, right?
it started with Afghanistan,
Yeah.
and it went downhill from there. And if people aren't seeing that, I mean, anybody, my generation, we lived through Vietnam, we saw it, and it was deja vu. Here we go again, nothing learned.
So look, I'm gonna do announcements real quick.
Oh, good.
If you are hungry today, if you're over 60 years old, you're hungry today, come on down to Lowell Senior Center. Today is the 9th of October, in case you're watching this on Saturday or Sunday. It's the 9th of October. Today they have meat lasagna, salad, and garlic bread. $2. Get down to Senior Center around 10:30, walk in the front door, give Tara $2. And if you don't have it, you can eat for free. And at 11 o'clock, they'll give you the feed bag. It's delicious time. And by the way, the senior center, Lowell Senior Center is the only senior center I know of that has lunch 7 days a week. Of course, they close next Monday, it's a holiday, but they have lunch 7 days a week.
Wow.
And show up at 10:30 with your $2,
Saturday and Sunday too. How about that?
and you got lunch. So coming up today, Karen Casella's party. So go out to Long Meadow, 5 o'clock today, and go out and shake Karen's hand. She's victorious, but I know I'm going to be out there, and looking forward to
Yep, I'll be
shaking her
there.
hand myself.
At
Yeah.
Long Meadow.
Long Meadow, yep, Long Meadow, out on Nova Street, yep. And then we got, this is tomorrow night, and I know I'm going to this. I don't know who else is going, but this is the Bridge Club. The Bridge Club is down there saving lives every day, helping people with addiction. And good organization. Bob Cox was here earlier in the week, and they're going to have a fundraiser tomorrow, October 10th, 6 p.m. is the gathering. It's out to Lindsay's out in Drake. It's going to be a delicious time. Dinner's going to be at 7, $125 a person, and you need to call them today to get your ticket. I'll go on their website. Just go to Google and search on Google the Bridge Club, Lowell, Mass, and their website comes up, and you can buy a ticket right there.
And I will be there.
Get
with
your
Rita.
speech ready, Rita.
And there's Rita. She's going to be the honoree.
Yeah.
And
First I've heard
then
of
we
it.
have the comedian
Yeah.
I didn't
Steve
even know.
Sweeney.
Yeah, they do great stuff. Across from the auditorium, Phil.
This is
Oh,
coming
I
up.
know all about
Yeah.
Coming up this weekend at
I didn't know they were honoring her. I didn't know there was a dinner.
both Holy Family Parish, which is over in South Lowell, and St. Anthony's Church. This is their new pastor, Father Louis Lopes. This guy, if you haven't met him yet, he has a fantastic spirit of happiness, and there's a bright future for everybody. This guy is
We got to get him on City Life here.
freaking wonderful. He really is. So on Saturday, he's going to be installed by Bishop Hennessy as the permanent pastor of Holy Family Parish. And they're going to have a mass Saturday, 7 p.m. at the Holy, it used to be called St. Marie's Church, South Lowell, but now it's called Holy Family Parish, 30 Grafton Street. So hope to see you there. Then on Sunday, where is the other one? Sunday, at St. Anthony's Church, they're going to have an installation mass for Father Lopes. He's the pastor of both these churches. St. Anthony's Church, 893 Central Street. Sunday, 10:30, Bishop Hennessy is going to install Father Lopes. And the same guy, fantastic. If you have not met Father Lopes, I think you'd be very pleased when you meet him. I got 3 more things to do. Okay, Al Mello. Keith Rudy sent me this. God
Yes.
bless him.
Yeah.
And they're going to have an unveiling of his monument, a monument to him, on October 12th, 11 a.m. in the parking lot of the Portuguese American Club at the corner of Veterans Way and Chapel Street. and it's going to be good. So hope to see you down at 11 o'clock on Saturday. And I think I got one more. Lowell Philharmonic Orchestra is going to be performing Bohemian Rhapsodies and Hungarian Dreams. And that's going to be this Saturday. And $20 for adults, $10 to get in the lower right-hand
Wow,
corner of the
that's
screen.
interesting.
That's what's going to be going on there. And that's my last announcement. Back to you, Linda. Thank you for your patience.
Yours on dark.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Thanks for that, McD.
yeah,
Great stuff.
You're
Now, is there a chance we could talk about something positive around here?
I know, well,
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
good.
Okay.
As I said, the Bridge Club is very positive. What Bob
Yes.
Cox has done down there is just
Absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely,
So-
what an outlet.
And I'm looking forward, I will be with Rita tomorrow night.
Yep, I'll be on hand too.
I'm going up to Manchester. I'm going to drag Ned Tommy down from Cow Hampshire to take a walk in there. So hopefully he'll be in a good mood to come down to the party tomorrow.
Very
I may
good.
pass you in Route 3, I'll be babysitting in Merrimack before I go, so.
Okay.
We'll both be on the highway, the same highway.
Talk about the highway, and you talk about something positive. I just put two and two together, when you get to BO, John, John knows this, he's an old timer like me. But when you get to BO, it takes a while for something to come to your attention. And it dawned upon me recently, all the work the city's done in fixing up the streets, like the repaving of a lot of the streets.
Yeah.
And I said, man, it's all over the place.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of
And
money.
I'm not too sure when that started or how much you spent, but I could tell you it's a big improvement.
Yeah, my district, I got a lot of
Really?
a lot of happy constituents, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I was going up Stephen Street the other night, and there's a certain stretch that's paved. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
I mean, that's all good stuff. I'm sure you.
Even in your old neighborhood, they've taken those streets right down to the dirt
Really.
in the Highlands.
Considering that, I rather suspect next April, when the manager puts together the budget, I mean, it's going to be, throughout the Commonwealth, it's going to be a tough budget for everybody.
Yeah,
It's just
Oh.
tough, with the new addition of new students and things like that, and the services. I don't know, it's not it's a challenging time. Is that a good
no,
way of putting it?
yes, absolutely, Phil.
And, but, I got to give them credit for continuing to
Yeah,
move the,
it's always, we always try to hold the line on the taxes as best we can,
Right.
But this stuff costs money, so,
Yeah.
when I campaigned last fall, Phil, a lot of chatter about taxes, people, because we had a 5.5% and a 3.5% back to back. And
Really?
that was, people are saying, where is my money going? Why is it so much? And I understand that. But so what we're working on is, while we can't, as I always say, we can't control the cost of healthcare, salaries, they go up. These are certain things in what, to quote Bill Belichick, we'll have a second quote, control what you can control, right? So what we're doing, and what I'm trying to spearhead is a citywide effort to increase the tax base. That's the only way we can get the homeowner, the
okay.
business owner some relief, Phil, is to create new tax revenue. So, I was, in my previous tenure, I was very active down the Hamilton Canal District, where the courthouse is now. So I left the council in 2017. So here I am again, 2024, and really not much has changed down there. We have the courthouse, right? Thanks to Governor Baker and his administration. We have 2 garages now.
Right.
Both of losing money. One the city owns, and one owned by private developer Salapoli, who. So what we have going on down there is a couple proposals. The discussion was in executive session. Believe me, I'd love to talk about it in detail, but I can give you a general conversation is how, what we have in the pipeline is 2 very large-scale projects down there involving housing and commercial that we're trying to get to yes. To create, because these are, several hundred units per parcel, And that's going to help out the taxpayers immensely. So, I'm personally, I'm only one of 11. The Lowell project had some ups and downs over the years, and nothing's been done. But, I believe strongly that, the two parties we have interested, which is Lowell and Wind Development, in two different parcels, we need to get the yes as best we can to get shovels in the ground there and create tax revenue to help out the homeowner. Along with that, we're focusing on the Link project, the UMass Lowell.
Yes.
That's a fabulous one.
It's amazing. I just went to a breakfast by all the major players, if you will, all gave presentations. It's unbelievable, the amount of housing, retail, innovation that's going to be there, all tax-bearing, too. These are all...
That's a really...
Yes.
Talking about positive.
Yes. So
Oh, I think
there's
you guys-
relief on the way to the homeowner, so please, we're working very hard, and this is my citywide, this is what I'm trying to focus on a citywide level, getting shovels in the ground, looking at everything for commercial development and create housing along the commuter rail here, McD, around your neck of the woods here, got great potential. So we need to get very active, proactive on development.
Corey,
Really.
one of the reasons I really like you as a city council is you listen. And as this project comes to fruition, these people are going to be looking for TIFs.
Yes.
And when you get a TIF, the TIF will be withdrawn if you don't do A, B, and C.
Yep. We're going to look at...
And that's got to be in.
We want to hold...
We
yes.
get screwed on these TIFs all the time. Oh, he promised. But it's not. He kept his TIF. He didn't do
Yeah.
what he promised. I should
Right.
say the organization didn't do what they promised, but they got their TIF. We should be able to claw back that TIF if they don't do A, B, C, and D.
Yep. I would agree.
Thank you.
We want shovels in the ground in a timely manner.
If they say they're going to hire Lowellians, hire Lowellians.
Yep, we can control that too. That, need to focus on
It should be
hiring
part of
local.
the A,
Yeah.
B, C, and D.
Yep, things we can do. Absolutely. So, we want to consider union labor too for hardworking families in the area. So we're in a pretty good position, moving forward. So this is what I'm focusing on with the administration on a citywide level to create tax revenue, because the homeowners need relief. They really do. So this is where it
It's the
is.
first time I've seen something positive in a long time from the university. They should be giving back, because they're training, they're educating all these people, and then they go out the door and off they go somewhere else. They don't stay in Lowell, and the professors don't stay and help out the community that made it happen. And so I think that it's really refreshing to see that happening.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, they've, don't forget they've taken the Saugus Arena out of our hands. That was one city-owned, Linda, I think we were losing $2 million a year back in the 90s and 2000s over.
Right.
They took that over. They recently took over the Latcher Park, which was a loss leader as well. That was in need of some serious maintenance that frankly we don't have. They've bought properties over the years. I get it. They're taking off the tax rolls, absolutely. But guess what? With this Link project, it's coming back. It's all coming back.
I like it.
It really is. It's so exciting, and I can't wait to work with them. They had a very large synopsis, if you will, with all the speakers coming in and saying this is what we're going to do. This Drake companies, they specialize in space exploration. I mean, it's amazing what they do. So we're going to have that hub, an innovation hub, right in Lowell.
That's exciting.
It really is, yeah. So can't wait to get shovels in the ground, get some tax revenue coming in. And this is big-time cash dollars, too.
But it's new. It's new developers. We have in Tingsboro, the person that's developing the old TJ Maxx Plaza, did Littleton.
Tingsboro. Okay.
And just a fabulous developer, innovative, creative, and you need new blood. And that's what I'm seeing in the Acre project. I think that is really an amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
And the partner with the university, I love it.
Yep. It's, Linda, we don't want to think low, where'd we be without the university? There's been,
Yeah.
sure, they've bought up, again, tax-bearing properties, I get it, but they've grown exponentially. Good job, Marty Meehan really launched that,
We even got a bridge. I wish you'd get the other bridge. I wish you'd get the Tuckerville Bridge.
Yep, and that remember the Saints Memorial Hospital? I was sitting there dormant and vacant,
Yeah.
and that would very well maybe still be there, Now they got the student center there, the glass and steel high-rise there, looks beautiful. So, Marty Meehan really kicked it all off in the right direction.
You trained some amazing individuals there, and so it's nice to see them staying in the area.
That's right. We
The
want to
campus over there in Broadway Street is tremendous. What they did to, the landscaping and the architect of the
Yep.
new building, and Corey's right on the money. I mean, the $50 to $75 million investment that's been made over there for the last 10 years has really been tremendous. And you see it in the enrollments. I have a granddaughter who's a senior there at university. She wants to go back next year. She likes it so much to go back and get a master's degree. But McCrory's right in the money. The expansion under the leadership of Marty Meehan and his staff, just tremendous.
Yep, and
really.
then all parlayed from there. Chancellor Julie Chen right now is excellent.
Yeah, is she? I
Yeah,
never met
she's
her.
really, she's the one spearheading this whole project, and, yeah.
Right.
So
She
she's
deserves
continuing-
credit in this
Yeah,
one.
it's amazing.
I
So
read
she
about
deserves a lot of
her-
credit,
I read
yeah.
about her background.
Yep.
When you get
Yep.
2 degrees out of MIT, I think you have to be pretty smart.
Oh,
You
I would think, right,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, no, we're lucky to have her. Matter of fact, I saw President Meehan a couple weeks ago. I said, excellent choice. We're working with her. And he says, well, I'm going to be in the loop too. So it's exciting stuff. It really is. It's an exciting time in that sense about development. Look, I'm pro-development. I want to get shovels in the ground, We need tax dollars, we really do. And I know there's some downside, traffic, this and that, I get it, but, but we're a city at the same time,
Yeah.
I think you guys made another good move. You had some difficulty keeping people in the police department. Then you come out with this contract. You gave them a nice pay raise to incentives. And I think that's a step in the right direction. A lot of the police departments throughout the country are losing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
People to
Yep.
early retirement. And I thought, reading in the Lowell Sun, the fact that you come up with a good proposal with the police department, I thought that was, good for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot
Can
of,
you read the comment from Councilor Corey Robinson, please?
The city was managing the Songus into the ground. The university has been very successful in filling the Songus and bringing disposable income into our downtown.
Yep.
Good comment.
right, you are Councilor Robinson. Yep, remember
Yeah.
the days, when that place was losing money and draining the city.
Well, we have
yeah.
the women's
Yeah.
pro hockey there that I think is very
Yeah,
exciting.
they-
I can't
they're
wait to
drawing
bring
good
my
crowds. Yeah.
granddaughter. My granddaughter's a hockey player.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's just,
Yep.
it's fabulous. It's just wonderful that,
Yep.
they're,
It's a nice mid-size arena to have in the city, for sure.
Yeah.
And Phil, to your point about the law enforcement, yes, and Councilor Robinson just chimed in, he, and the entire city council holds a very, very high value on law enforcement and public safety, and I'm right there to support them. So that was necessary to do. They're doing such a good job for a city our size, really. We hear a lot about the homeless issue, this and that, but as far as, violent crimes is the category I'll use, really, we don't really hear that much. The gang activity has trickled down to almost next to nothing. So the Lowell Police has done a fantastic job for a city our size. Believe me, I travel the Commonwealth, not anymore, but I used to, and believe me, the cities our size and smaller with a lot more problems on a public safety measure. So they're doing a great job. They deserve everything they get, Phil.
See, the vacancies getting filled. That's
Yep.
You know,
We're going to give them all the support they need.
it's all good
Absolutely.
stuff. I think,
Yep. Well, when you start relaxing on public safety, you're going to have problems. You're going to have some serious problems, and that's not going to happen under this council. I'm very confident of that.
no, I think also something else that goes under the radar is how well the parks look this summer. You know, North Common,
Yeah.
South Common,
Yep.
Shed Park,
Yep. Well,
Fields up there in Centerville.
yeah, the councilor,
It's just,
Yeah.
once again, I'm just opening up my eyes, looking around, saying, man, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
nice to see
absolutely.
kids back in the box, isn't it?
Oh, it's just the work and effort being put in, particularly when the city's understaffed. and through no fault of its own other than the atmosphere. But there's just a lot of little things going along, I think, pretty good that get unrecognized because we get into other situations where this topic matter may be more appealing to talk about, you know.
Yep. Well, the council prior to my getting on, really put a lot, with this ARPA money, Phil, they made some investment in parks and open spaces too,
No
and I'm
question.
proud of them for it. The council done such a good job spreading this ARPA money out throughout the city and all the neighborhoods. Really, I don't, with my addition, you couldn't have done a better job. So they've done an outstanding job. They're very thoughtful, and the disbursement of this funds all throughout the city. Every neighborhood, every park is seeing something. So, real proud of them.
It's also not enough credit goes to Connor Baldwin,
Yeah.
the chief financial officer,
Yeah.
who's done really. He's a stabilizing force
Oh,
in the city, but he's just he's a giant.
absolutely.
He doesn't say much, but
Nope.
he certainly knows those numbers.
The conversations I had, you'd be really impressed with
Well,
this guy.
you've known him
Believe
for
me. Yeah,
a bunch of
right,
years.
yes. He was, and he's still there for a reason, Phil. Survived many managers for a reason.
I got to know him,
Yeah.
I got to know him back when he worked for Kevin Murphy, but I'm sure the city manager's happy
Yeah,
that he has him at his lift.
And I recently had a conversation with him as to the school department woes.
Right.
I'm like, I says, Connor, do I need to do this? Do I need to make a motion for that? He goes, Corey, we have a new administration now, a new financial officer within the school department. I'm confident in, they're working with me. I think I got this. I said, okay. So I got a lot of confidence in him when he tells me that. I says, okay. I says, you'll report to the council quarterly on this and let us know financially how they're doing. He goes, I will keep you up to date. And as soon as anything goes away, I'll let you know. But when he tells me that, I have a ton of confidence in him that he can do the job. So, to your point, Phil.
Well, you have a new, I think you're in good shape. You've got a new superintendent that's, I think, going to do a lot.
Yes,
He's young.
Yeah.
He's been in the system.
Yep.
And
He lives in
just-
Lowell.
Yeah, it's great.
I
and
never
the-
understood that other part. I'm sorry, Linda, where we got a new superintendent. Oh, he comes from Austin, Texas. He comes from Atlanta. The last few came from and you look at their resume, he was here for 3 years, he had Georgia for 4 years. What makes you think he's going to be same thing, Lowell, 2-3 years, that's it.
Yeah.
So it was just there was too much turnover on that. I never understood it. But I think Superintendent Skin is here for a long period of time.
And I think that the district council has helped. You got Kim, and you got Corey, and you got Dan, and you got...
really interesting,
I think that it's...
I like
talk
it
about
better.
the parks, I
Yeah.
think that that's made a huge impact.
Everybody, you're right, and I,
Linda, will you read this one?
Why did the retired policeman get so much time to speak at the podium, whereas most everyone else gets 3 minutes?
I hear what you're saying. Last night, we had
What's
retired
that all
police
about?
officer Joe Espinola. He got retired, injured on the job, and he's trying to change the status of his retirement to accidental to in the line of duty. It's out of our purview, so we had to hear him out. It was a riveting story. It really was. It was an interesting testimony. Who was going to interrupt him? So we gave him his time. I know what you're saying on the 3-minute rule, but we gave him his time. We heard him out, and we referred it to the law department to make that. It's out of our hands. It's between the law department and the retirement board, truthfully. But Joe's been a lifelong resident of Lowell, not now, but grew up. I've known him for many years. Very hardworking guy. So we'll see. Hopefully everything works out for him, but I understand the opinion of the listener, for sure.
Okay.
Well, I listened to the gentleman. I didn't realize he'd gone through so many different injuries.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I think the council was like, wow, yeah,
I just,
yeah.
it was amazing. His story was an amazing story.
It really was,
But
yeah.
I don't
And
know that part of the law.
it wasn't like speaking on a motion, it was he petitioned the council. I'm not so sure there was a time limit on him to begin with.
okay.
It
Well, you
wasn't
petition the
exactly-
council to petition the legislature.
Yeah.
Even if the council went along with that, the earliest you could petition the legislature is in January, and the public hearing probably wouldn't be held much before next March anyhow.
Yeah.
Home rule, is that what he's looking for, a home rule petition?
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
That's what I took out of it.
yep.
That
But it's in-depth, and a lot of it's out of our purview,
Yeah,
as
I
in the
would-
council, unfortunately. We want the best for the police officers, both current and retirees, absolutely, because, again, we hold a very high value on them. And even McDonough, I never heard any complaint for him on a public safety perspective, I'll tell you
No,
that.
the
Who's that?
freaking cops are great.
John McDonough. Yeah, yeah,
The cops in Lowell,
yep,
they do their job.
absolutely.
They do their job, and
Yep.
they're quick. And the few times we had a call up,
See
what
this, Linda?
happens is sometimes you have an unwanted who shows up. You have a relative in your family that, look at it, if Uncle Luke shows up, we got to get him out of here. So you can't touch the guy.
What do you do with Cliff Krieger?
So what you do is you tell the guy, look, at the family would like you to go home. I'm staying right here. Okay. I then call the police, and they send somebody up, and the cop said, how do you want us to handle this? They're very open-minded. So all I want you to do is stand in the doorway. And when the guy talks, you just tell him the family wants you to go home. Don't want them arrested, I just want them to vacate the property. And it happens like once or twice a year. So the cop will come, and he's standing in the doorway, and I go and tap the guy on the shoulder and say, that guy wants to talk to you. And then things change. And the guy goes on his merry way, no harm done. Those low cops, fantastic.
Great to hear. See that, Linda? An endorsement from John
Well,
McDonough on that.
when I
It's
come
not
in the
easy.
morning, they're right there
Yep.
in the parking lot.
Absolutely, they do such a good job.
Yeah.
And this council stands by them, 100%.
So, I was shocked when he was talking about them plugging into his outlets.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I'm still amazed at that.
What are you doing? I'm just charging my phone. Oh, that's the magnetism. Okay.
Wow.
So the outside outlets don't work anymore.
Okay.
Corey, do you have anything to add since the state legislature and the governor has signed into law a petition allowing for accessory living?
Yeah, the ADUs, yeah.
I mean, there was a rather emotional debate here in the city a year or so ago, and now it looks like what you debated then, it looks
Yeah.
like the law will supersede.
Yep, just
Your
a few
action-
months later, Phil, correct.
That is, what do you think of that?
Well, it's...
Since you led the charge to,
Yeah, I was very active. It was a big campaign issue.
Yes.
Regarding ADUs, I did not support them. This predominantly allows them by right come February now. That's thanks to
Oh, is that
Governor
what it
Haley,
is?
come February, yeah. An ADU in a single-family zone.
Yes.
They're now by right. So, you still need to go down and get a permit and not encroach. There's still parameters that you can only go so close to the rear yard setback. There's still guidelines, and not just you can do what you want, but you'll be allowed to add an ADU by right now, all throughout the Commonwealth. So we led the good fight, and we stood up for what thought we was right, but unfortunately, the governor overrode us.
Now, they don't have to go to the Board of Appeals at all?
Nope.
What about parking? Does the city...
As long as you can't put cars on the street, Linda. You
Okay.
won't be able to do that. But that's what always happens,
Yeah.
We can't control it. It's only a one-bedroom, my aunt's moving in, and you don't know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
it could be your son and daughter may come home for, unfortunate reasons, whatever it may be. Now you got 2 additional cars on the street, and that's what can happen.
Yeah.
And it's hard for building department to go enforce it, let me in, that's not the way it works, so it's gonna be hard to enforce too, I'm gonna be straight out. It's almost impossible. As to how can we tell who's living there, and, but, it's the governor's initiative, and it's every city, every town.
Let me ask you, do you think communities can tighten up their building guidelines?
Zoning, yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
Well, they can't change this. I mean, if you can have an ADU anywhere, but...
Single family only, not multis.
Okay. Okay.
So you won't be able to congest on an already packed neighborhood.
Okay, so
but it's
if
the
they've
single
got
family,
additions on the, okay.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest problem with that is there's no parking restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be able
You're
to park
technically not
their
supposed to put
car.
cars on the street, but how do you know who's living there and that's the problem. That's why the neighborhoods didn't want them.
And that came down from the state, and thanks to the governor. And so the governor should have to park at the connector and walk to City Hall. See how she likes it.
It'll take her along South Common too.
Well,
Mickey, take her- see
well,
how
when she was
likes
on the
that.
South Common, last Friday, Melanie Gilbert was here from the Sun, and I chastised her for not giving the governor any hard questions. They just don't do that.
No, that's gone out of style.
And I'm told that
Matter of fact, they have to know the questions beforehand, before they answer them now. Are you kidding?
if you ask the governor a tough question, you won't be invited back.
That's just it, right, yeah. That's mean.
It's all
Same thing with
changed.
the White
Mean.
House- the White
It's
House
mean to
press
ask
corps.
different, difficult questions now, I know. But it is what it is. But not for Councilor Belanger, please. Any of my constituents have a question, you fire away.
Yeah, you answer your phone.
Absolutely.
Well,
Never
that's
too busy
huge.
to talk to a constituent. You're a good guy.
Enjoy it very much. Can't tell you how good it feels to be back.
I can imagine.
And, being out in the neighborhood and, this district, my last tenure was all at large, but this is really, you can really put a focus on a certain part of the city. Again, I have citywide interests in the tax base and whatnot, but, Saturday, some days after work, Saturday, I'll drive around, I get an email, I'll drive up and down. You can really focus each council on their district, to get things done. I think it helps, I really do. I think
Well,
it's
I'm
beneficial.
impressed that you go to them and see them, anybody that asks a question.
Well, when I was running into people, even like just a few weeks ago, that live in the district who I know too, gee, some of you, how's everything in the neighborhood? They're like, why? I'm your district councilor now. Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
Exactly.
So, right, a lot of people don't tune in, Phil, as we talked about many times over the years, and I
Well,
said
they
to
don't until
myself.
they need them.
Right, and I said, well, it's my job to get out there. I said, I need to get out there. I convinced myself in a short
You're going to be running
amount
for
of.
re-election as a district councilor, not
Yes,
at large.
yes, I enjoy it very much, and I'm gonna take my chances in the district. My mind's pretty much already made up.
Well, I don't know if you'll be taking your chances. I think you've done a great job. But
Well, it's
you've
a chance
always
either
done a
way,
good
I
job,
guess.
And unfortunately, one election you lost by, 13
Yeah,
votes?
yeah, it's
mean,
some tough breaks over the
I'd
years.
rather
Phil.
lose by
I thought I was
100
cursed.
votes.
Yeah, I
I
know.
know.
19.
Those are the tough ones.
But, but I've been a victim of something similar to that in the past also. But no, I think it's important, like, is he in the district or is he citywide? Because you've done both before.
Yeah, but,
And,
yeah.
and so the fact that you're going to be running, in fact, I could actually vote for him because I live in this
Yeah,
district.
you're on Park Street, yeah.
And I intend to vote for him and support him. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is it's that, yeah, it's a little you can confuse the public. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yep, a lot of people don't, then, that's when I said to myself, I need to get out there, and so, the thing what I want to do is, the Belvedere Neighborhood Association group has sort of, over the last couple of years, sort of gone by the wayside, retirements and whatnot, but I have some young, active individuals who are now we're going to pick up where we left off, and as I go knocking, I grab emails, because email is still the best way, and people not prefer text and stuff,
Yeah.
and so I grab, every time I go to a door, I grab email, so get them on the chain,
very
activities in the
good.
neighborhood, yeah, building a nice base, and yeah, it's going very well, and give everybody my cell phone number. You live in my district, give you the card, cell phone on it, email, anything you need, please, anything, anytime. So yeah, it's going very well, I'm enjoying it immensely.
Well,
And you have an event coming up sometime soon?
I do, yep. I'll be Thursday, the 24th, at Kilkenny Pub, right in the heart of the district on Rugby
yeah.
Street. Yep.
Oh, I haven't been there in a
Local
long time.
business, yep.
Yeah, the gentleman that owns that, I see him every now and Fitzy's, is that?
Yeah, he goes to Fitzy, yep.
He's a,
Dickie Barrett, yeah.
who?
Dickie Barrett,
Oh, gosh.
Right.
Barrett,
He's
yeah.
such a
Good
nice.
guy.
yep, good guy.
He is a nice guy.
Best prime ribbon Lowell. When he does it. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
he is a nice guy.
Yep. And that's, I got to stay in the district, I want to help local businesses, and that's.
Well, you
that's where I'm
ran a
going.
business. You know what it
Yep,
takes to.
Is that
Absolutely. Kilkenny, yep.
Well, it's.
So 24th, what time?
Thursday, a matter of fact, I emailed you this morning.
Oh, good, okay.
5:30 to 8, yep.
Good.
Be my first
Kilkenny
time ever
pub.
in Kilkenny.
I'll be there.
Yeah, because I want to do a mailer sooner rather than later, right after the first of the year with all my contact, and, because we got a lot going on with ARPA money. We got sewer upgrades here, park improvements here. I want to put all the information to get it to the neighborhood and let them know what's going on. So, yeah, I got a plan in place, believe me, to cruise my way in a re-election next
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
Looking
Well, it
very
doesn't sound
forward
like
to
you're cruising. It sounds like you're working very hard at it,
That's,
so.
you have to.
But
Absolutely.
I
When you
see
enjoy
that
it, it's
in the
not a-
districts. I see Kim doing it, I see
Kim's a very hard
John
worker.
Dakota up
Yep.
in the Highlands. and
Absolutely.
Dan over in Pawtucket.
Yep.
I think it's, I
It's
like
working
it.
out great, this district. I had my reservations, I'm
I
going to be
did too.
honest. But,
John Dakota, it's funny. I met his son maybe 2 years ago. I was introduced to John Dakota's son. And I said to his son, I said, geez, it's nice to meet you. And I said, I know your father, but I only know him because I've never met your father personally. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I see him on TV on the license board. And I said, what I like about your father is he always treats people respectfully. And but I never met, even though we go to the same church and everything, I never met John Dakota. And then, wouldn't you know, when they got sworn in, I had a chance to meet him at the auditorium, and I told him of the story about meeting him and his son. And this John Dakota, for the first time, I met the guy face to face when he gets sworn in, and he's such a nice guy.
He is.
He's kind of unassuming, but he's such a gentleman. And I know when he ran when he ran the license
yep,
commission.
chairman for License Commission.
He
for-
just treated everybody so respectfully.
Oh, and transportation, he was
Yeah.
on the board for
And,
kids.
I only mention that because.
Great counselor.
Because you think you know everybody. Well, I only met Councilor Dakota for the first time when he gets sworn in. And he's such a gentleman. And the way he handles himself publicly is such a credit to the body. That's
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
amazing.
Great district counselor.
Yeah, he is. And
He does a sports show too on LTC.
Does he really?
Yep.
yeah, he has a talk show, doesn't he, John, on sports?
Yep.
Yeah, but no, you get a really good counselor.
And he's
Yeah, it's a great team.
great singer.
Huh?
Have I see him at Princeton Station every so often. He's a musician, great singer.
He's
See, I
he's
didn't
a lead
even-
singer?
I didn't-
No
Oh,
way.
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, he's fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always knew that olive oil voice he had. I'm
Yeah.
always, that's
Ah,
funny, huh?
Yeah, I've followed him for
FYI,
years.
tomorrow, City Life,
Yeah.
Bobby Hoey's taking the day off tomorrow, but Sam Chase will be
Yeah,
here.
Bobby Hoey.
Judith Bissett's going to be here to talk about
Sam
Kerouac.
Chase.
Okay.
Jack Kerouac. And the host will be Evelyn
Oh,
Thorin.
God, yeah.
Oh.
John, when's Bobby Hoey gonna make a comeback?
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. I think he needs the bride's permission. Linda, can you read that?
I
or is
wish
it
there
too
was
small?
more education to teach people how to recycle. I do too.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of people coming from different cities, different countries that have no idea what to put in the recycle, so they put everything in there, and it's a big burden, and fees are going through the roof. What is the city going to doing to us?
Well, I think-
Get Gunther. Where
No,
is Gunther?
Respectfully, I think
Thank you,
we
Scott.
have to
I like,
chase down where the recycles go. And I think the sad news is going to be most of the recycles go in the trash. I think when you trace down the recycles to find out where does it really go? Let's follow this.
Just an expense that's going out of control.
sad.
yes, right.
Yeah, it's going to-
Well,
I think
let's
it's
answer
going to-
Scott's concern.
Yeah.
As
You're
Phil
absolutely
just
right,
alluded,
Scott.
Phil, you hit it on the head. The expense itself is really skyrocketing itself.
is.
It was supposed to be created for savings, right? But it's now costing more to get rid of recyclables almost as it is trash. Go
But
figure.
it is confusing.
But we need, it is. We need more outreach and education, to Scott's point, no doubt. But Scott, we have one or two, in quotes, enforcers that actually check the green recycling bins and tag them if they're not, if it's not done appropriately, if there's items in there that shouldn't be in the recycling bins. So we are raising money in fees. Unfortunately, this is not the way we'd all want to go about it. But, and a lot of it's abuse too. We see construction materials in recycling bins too. We're catching that. So there's a share of on education, and I don't doubt that we need to do a better job in outreach, but there's abuse going on too at the same time. That's intentional. So we have enforcers out there that are tagging these green bins and leaving them there if they have other items other than recyclables. But we're working on it, and the manager is in the midst of contract negotiations with Waste Management. With a better camera system, you're going to see it's called a third eye on the truck that can, when you dump them, they'll know the address. I don't know how, but they'll know what bin, what address it comes from. Dump it in, you'll be able to see at the bottom of these, you can only flip the lid up and see what's on top, right? But you don't know what's on the bottom.
My.
So, yeah, we got camera technology coming in to help us out. So, Scott, appreciate your concern. It's important, and we're working on it, believe me. And, again, it's not all the fact that people aren't educated. There is abuse going on, too, which we intend on cracking on.
But I think, I don't know who you have, when Gunther was in charge of education, and he'd be on here, he'd be on CAP, if you've got someone, a spokesman.
True, yeah,
because,
we gotta get them on,
people
yeah.
think pizza boxes, well, no, you can't put pizza boxes
No.
in because they have grease.
They have grease,
And
yeah.
I think people, particularly, never even thought about the people from other countries coming in and not knowing, and I don't know if every community is different on the recycling.
Yeah, we're working on bilingual, yeah, the pamphlets are in are bilingual.
No, I don't read, nobody reads the pamphlets, Corey.
I know what you're saying. Well, any
Well,
outreach,
listen
Linda.
to somebody,
Yeah.
He was just fabulous.
Yeah.
Time to say goodbye.
Oh,
Thank
all
you
right.
both
No.
for getting up. Bill.
My pleasure. Great to be
Corey,
back here on City Life.
great
Please,
seeing
those
you
of you
back.
on District 3 in Belvedere, Councilor Corey Belanger at gmail.com. You can be reached anytime for anything. Please do not hesitate to reach out for any issues. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow.
See you on the 24th.